Hi, it's Emiko with The Show. The good news is I'm standing here with Steven Norbert from PranaFidelity.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Doing well.
You okay?
Last day of the show.
Last day of the show, you're upright and functional, and that's all that matters, right?
It's been a very busy show.
Yeah, you guys have, I've walked by your room a couple of times, and you guys have had a very, very good crowd.
Yeah.
Off and on, in and out, so that's good.
Yeah.
So thank you for taking time out of your day to talk to us about PranaFidelity and everything that you're doing. Now, you've got a lot of stuff going on. I know you recently made a switch from what's behind us to what's to the side of us now. So why don't you take us through the entire setup that you have?
Sure.
And I know you want to talk about the loudspeakers a bit, so
I do, yeah.
let us know.
Well, I guess I also want to acknowledge the contributions first and foremost from the people who provided the turntable, which is going to be EARUSA, Dan Meinwald. Thank you, Dan. And also the cabling, and also Dan provided the CD player, the EAR CD player, and Scott Markwell with Elite Audio Video, because he's done the Fuertech cabling, so all the cabling is Fuertech.
Fantastic.
And so, you know, the shows don't happen alone, so to speak. And,
right.
And my background was more, people were familiar with my work in more the amplifiers and preamplifiers, but I kind of feel like I wanted to go back to what I was doing more as a kid with high school projects and stuff and science projects with the loudspeakers. But nonetheless, I do have a couple of items in active wear, so to speak, with an amp and a preamp. And so this is a full function preamp that uses a phono stage, as well as its full balanced input through output, which simply means input through output without any kind of input or output transformers.
Right.
It's all using active components, 2 channels that are inverted, 2 channels that are non-inverted, input through output. So it's true balanced, and then it goes to an amplifier that I can't really take a lot of credit for, but I can give credit to a gentleman named Bruno Puzzi who developed the modules for that, and I implemented them for this particular amplifier. And it's worked out really well. I've been using both of these models for several years, since 2010 or 11 when I started PranaFidelity. And then the loudspeakers, to either side of us are the BAVAs. It's a stand mount loudspeaker, what's called a symmetrical 2-way, and it looks like what people often refer to as what's called a diapolito, but it isn't because of the design of the crossover and what happens with the emergence of that wave launch and the interference patterns and all of that. So, but it lends itself to both an upright position or a sideways position if somebody wants to use it as a center channel.
So why the change? Because before we started taping, you were saying, oh, I sort of leapt over to loudspeaker world.
Well, I kind of have been doing the loudspeakers for about, just over 42 years. And it was more on the side. Okay. And there's a certain fun that I have with doing that. I mean, I certainly have fun with the electronics, but maybe it's because Freud would say I suffered from speaker envy, because every time you'd go to a show, people would go up and start caressing the speaker and whatnot. No matter what we would do, nobody ever pay attention to our electronics.
Speaker love.
It seems as though people think, oh, the speakers do it all by themselves, and they don't.
No, they definitely do.
And one of these days I actually will show, and I have shown with other electronics manufacturers, and it's worked out very well.
So let me ask you, where can people find your components in your loudspeakers? Okay. And for the loudspeakers specifically, retail price perhaps?
Yeah, so the retail price on the stand mount ones is $4,950 a pair.
For the pair, okay.
The stands are extra, like $698 plus ship.
Well, Steven, thank you so very much for your time. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you.
Everybody stay tuned for more interviews, behind the scenes, and exclusive content at the show. Thank you all so much for watching. We will see you next time.